Hello, my precious students, and welcome to New Obsidian Duel Academy. I am the headmistress, Lady Cerisa, and today we need to discuss the elephant in the room. Not everyone is good at deck building, and for some people, it shows. If this is you, then you've come to the right place. Here's some tips that can help you in your next deck build. Number 1, archetype research. There is no shame in looking at someone else's deck build or series of decks before building your own, especially if you're trying to learn a brand new archetype that you've never played before. This is usually a good way of finding out what the deck's core is that you're working on, as well as some card decks that other people may try, which is also very helpful into making a deck into your own piece. Number 2, hand traps or board breakers. This has been an interesting topic as for a long time in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Hand traps was a must to run in any deck you build. Now it's come to be that if your deck can run on a 1.5 combo, you can get away with running 12 to 18 hand traps. Any other deck would be guaranteed to struggle to run even 6 hand traps. After conversing with a fellow duelist, this is perfect for board breakers to come into play, as all you have to run 7 to 12 board breakers like Triple Typic Talents, Forbidden Droplet, in some decks, Book of Moon, or even Change of Heart. That way, you can focus more on your deck's gas and not worry about losing the die roll. Number 3, test hands. Doing test hands is probably one of the most important phases of deck building. Test hands allows you to see what your first possible hand would look like, what cards are potential bricks, and what cards are absolutely essential to your deck's plays. While doing test hands, you want to think about how often bad hands turn up. You're also looking for what cards may cause your hands to be bad hands. This also helps to know how often you'll see either a hand trap or board breaker, depending on what you go with in your deck build. As a reminder to not just blindly do test hands, you'll not learn anything from them. Brain power is a duelist's best friend. Number 4, ratios. Test hands add onto you knowing your deck's ratios, but ultimately you want to run your play starters at max, according to the rules and any current ban list. If your deck play starters are what we call dedicated normal summons, you might be in somewhat trouble, as running too many can cause your deck to brick even more. Rule of thumb is you run no less than 3 dedicated normal summons and no more than 5 dedicated normal summons, with a few exceptions to the rule depending on the specific archetype and what it does. Then you want to ration your extenders depending on overall usefulness and how searchable. If they are searchable, then you may want to consider running 1 or 2 rather than 3 to avoid seeing them in hand, unless you find 3 most ideal to allow your starters to search for something just as important. Number 5, design an inboard. Knowing what you want your deck to do is essential for any deck build. You need to know what kind of end state that would increase your chances of success, what boss monsters must be on your board once the turn is done, and how often your deck can pull off your end board. Do you want a lot of negates, disruptions, combination of the two? These are the most important questions you have to ask yourself when knowing the most effective end board your deck can make and lead to your ultimate goal, winning the duel. I hope these tips help you on your next deck build. If you like this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe for more new Obsidian Duel Academy content. Class dismissed.